Okay, before I start this presentation, I want to clarify that my audience are a board of directors from China Tobacco. China Tobacco is the largest tobacco company that sells cigarettes and traditional tobacco products in China. Do you know that 1 in 4 people in China are smoking cigarettes? And that is the population of 350 million. It is bigger than the population of the United States. But only a small portion of these people smoke electronic cigarettes. The electronic cigarette is an innovative product that becomes popular among young adults and traditional cigarette smokers. It is generating high profit and growing fast worldwide, except in China. After this presentation, you will know more about what makes the electronic cigarette an attractive product to customer and a profitable product to the company. Today, I'm going to go over the product of the electronic cigarette, the market growth, and its profitability. Please hold questions until the end of the presentation. So here's an electronic cigarette. It is combined of rechargeable battery, the heating element, and the e-liquid pod. So rechargeable battery supports the heating element and turns the e-liquid in the pod into vapor that contains nicotine. E-cigarette is considered as a substitute for traditional cigarette because it provides sufficient amount of nicotine and for health purpose. Unlike traditional cigarette, e-cigarette is safer for me, you, and the earth because it contains no cancer-causing tobacco. Tobacco is so harmful to our human bodies and it kills over 1 million people per year worldwide. 1 in 5 people die today because of smoking tobacco. Since the e-cigarette only produces vapor with nicotine, it does not produce any secondhand smoking that affect people around. As we know, carbon monoxide is a toxic gas that can react with other air pollutants to destroy ozone that protect our Earth. From the study, we know that electronic cigarette has 0 carbon monoxide emission, and thus it is environment friendly. So now we all understand why e-cigarette becomes popular among young adults and traditional smokers. But how well is the product doing in the market? So the research indicates there's a positive trend in the growth of the market. And the market size grows from $6 billion in 2015 to $11 billion in 2019 at a constant rate of 12%. The economics states that the increase in demand for e-cigarette will decrease the demand for traditional cigarette. Therefore, in a predictable future, the e-cigarette market is growing at a faster rate of 19% and reaches up to $37 billion in 2025. And that is 5 times bigger than in 2015. The e-cigarette market is growing even faster in China and other Asian countries because China has the biggest smoking population and bigger demand for electronic cigarette. So since e-cigarette is a fast-growing product in the world's largest market, what is the profitability of the product? So electronic cigarette generates high profit with low tax because it is not regulated by the government as a tobacco product. As we study business, we know that profit margin is a benchmark that measures the profitability of the product. From the table, we know that e-cigarette generates over 83% profit margin, while traditional cigarette only generates 10% profit margin. And here is an example to illustrate the success of electronic cigarette. Juul is an American e-cigarette company founded in 2015. It is dominating the American market with 75% market share and generates over $3.4 billion American dollars of sales revenue. It is so amazing that e-cigarette, a single product, can increase the market company's sales revenue by over 800% and increase the company's market value by $38 billion. I just want to remind you that there are still 350 million people smoking cigarettes in China. Hopefully in the short future, these people will adopt the use of the electronic cigarette. Today we have learned that e-cigarette is an innovative product that has positive market growth and trends, and it generates high profitability and for increase the market values firm. May I take your question now? Yes.
So recently there's like news reporting about health BLI resident champions like getting Islam surgery causing Jew, and it's currently like Jews currently facing like a case. And why would you say like electronic cigarettes are more like safer, like healthier?
Yeah, so his question was, there is currently health concern about electronic cigarette regarding the teenagers, and also what if there's government regulations on the electronic cigarette? And the answer to that is, first, it is not illegal for teenagers under 18 to purchase the product. It still contains nicotine and it can affect your brains. And there's no research indicates there is a long-term damage to people's body because of the e-cigarette smoking. And China Tobacco is the government, it's not only the biggest company in China, but it's also the government regulator. So it hasn't been come up with any case or regulations regarding the e-cigarette. Yes?
What's the market share of China Tobacco in retrospect to like the whole tobacco industry in the world?
So China Tobacco, as I said, is the largest company in China, but it's also the largest company in the world. It has over 44% market share that is dominating the world's tobacco market. So that saved the lives of traditional cigarette smokers and make China Tobacco great again. Thank you.